Howdy. Here to talk about Splice. Good movie. I'll give it a 7. Very atmospheric, very creepy. It's about a pair of scientists who create a new life form using human DNA and other various DNAs. And of course, the perfect plan goes awry. It's definitely a horror movie. Science fiction horror, really. And it probably leans more towards the horror than the science fiction, but both are represented nicely. It stars Adrian Brody, Sarah Polley, and Delphine Seynac. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right. She undoubtedly plays the creature, Dren. It was directed by Vincenzo Natali, possibly Italian, could be French. Written by him as well, co-written with Antoinette Terry Bryant and Doug Taylor. Written by 3 people and directed by Vincenzo Natali. It's a good movie. It's a 7. Very atmospheric, and it keeps that atmosphere and feeling throughout the picture. It really maintains its vision, which is admirable. The acting is really good. Adrian Brody and Sarah Polley are like 2 titans of the independent film world, and here they're in a little bit bigger budget, and they're really in pretty much every scene. I mean, it's divided up evenly, but they're really in every scene, and there are only a few other characters in the movie. I mean, you have the brother of Adrian Brody, you have their boss, I guess you have their 2 bosses, you have Dren, but that's really it, and Dren never really talks. I mean, it's definitely a performance, but she doesn't really have any lines. So again, this is really Adrian Brody's and Sarah Polley's show. And Sarah Polley is excellent. Sarah Polley is always excellent, and she's excellent here. And she really is the main character, and she does a good job. Adrian Brody, again, always good. I mean, always, he's a good actor. So he's good here. I don't know her name, and I don't know if I can find it quickly on the box, but the highlight in the acting for me was Adrian Brody and Sarah Polley, their, I guess, husband and wife, or at least common law married, and they work for the same pharmaceutical company as scientists. Their boss, I guess the head of the pharmaceutical company, who I believe is a French actress, I'm not sure of her name, she's awesome. I really love characters that are only in the movie a little bit, but you just wish they were there a lot more because you feel that something else would be going on, and she really takes it to another level. I think she's a fine actress. Again, not sure of her name, but whenever she's on the screen, I thought that it was much more interesting, and her performance makes it much more interesting. So again, acting highlight would be her. Again, very well directed, very well shot, looks very nice. You can tell that Natali had been watching his Kubrick in preparation for making this movie. I thought in certain scenes, not all the time, but it was very Kubrickian. Very well shot. Looked good. One problem I had, I guess the reason I'm not giving it a higher score, I thought, and again, I try not to let it affect me, but sometimes I thought the special effects kind of took me out of it, especially in the earlier scenes when Dren is a baby. The baby is entirely computer generated. Later on, again, you have a human in makeup, and as long as it's not full body, again, it's just a human in makeup. But again, if they have to go full body, then they have to show the lower half, which has a tail and is distinctly inhuman. So again, sometimes, especially in the earlier scenes, sometimes the special effects took me out of it, just because it looked a little cartoony, I guess. But I will say that as Dren grows and becomes, again, the human in the makeup, excellent performance, very good creature design. I really liked Dren. I just wished for the earlier stuff, I missed puppets. You know, why not use a puppet? Because puppets are awesome. And even though you know it's a puppet, I know it's a cartoon, I know it's a computer-generated cartoon, and it doesn't look as good. And I just miss puppets. And I just wish that maybe for Baby Dren, they would have gone the puppet route. I think it probably could have been a little cooler. But I think you should use puppets more often for any movie. Puppets are awesome. I wanted to lean more towards an 8, so maybe I could call this a 7.5, but the thing that separates a 7 from an 8 usually is how much I think about it, and I did think about this movie in the hours after watching it, quite a bit, because I can't call it really scary. There are a couple of moments, maybe a couple, but it's mostly just atmosphere and creepiness and and skin crawling, shivers up your spine type of thing. Again, just a general sense of creepiness more than scariness, but still very effective. And I did think about it for a couple of hours. I mean, it has a very good ending. It doesn't end perhaps the way you expect it to end. I enjoyed that, but I didn't really think about it. I didn't wake up thinking about it. I didn't go to bed thinking about it, so I can't, in good conscience, give it an 8. But it is a solid 7, maybe a 7.5. I did really enjoy it. I really can't think of much else to say about it other than that the acting is very good. The performance of the lady who plays Dren is very good. She has a lot to do. She's got to be nude a lot. I respect that. So I think the acting is really good, very well directed, well shot. It's a good looking film. I suppose I could have used more of the... Again, there's pretty much 3 characters in the movie, and then other people just pop in for a little bit. So I admire that really the film is carried by 2 actors and this creature. So I think that's cool and important for this film to make it better than other films. So a good watch, and if you are a science fiction fan, definitely rent it. If you're a horror fan, definitely rent it. So I think that's pretty much sums it up. So that's Splice. It's a solid 7. Check it out. Thanks.